Alright, hello everybody and welcome to the 16th race of the 2023 Samsung Offline Racing League. We're here for the longest race of the year. We're here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the, well, I can't explicitly say what it's called, but it's a very, very long race and you kind of wonder why the hell it's so long in the first place, but anyway, whatever. It's going to be 150 miles tonight, 100 laps to 1.5 mile racetrack in Charlotte, North Carolina. Really the home of NASCAR, which is pretty cool. And we're really looking forward to this one tonight. The championship battle is very, very close. We've got three drivers within 3 points of another, right at the top of the championship tree. There is a lot that could play out tonight in terms of shaping who will be the champion for the season. And we've got some guys in very good form at the moment in terms of the momentum that they've gained, and well, it's going to be interesting to see who will come out on top. We've had 15 different winners so far this year in 15 races. And, I mean, you base it on the trend. I think it's entirely possible to get a 16th different winner tonight. Particularly when you got the 99 of Joseph Wright on the pole. I'll talk about him in a bit as to why, he might be one to watch tonight. Obviously, besides the obvious starting on pole. But we'll go through the points real quick. And the starting positions for tonight. So Alejandro Cruz, the winner last week at Chicagoland. He led the most laps in that race. Went on to win. He now leads the championship. A remarkable turnaround for a guy who 2 races in was 41st in the championship. It's been a really good turnaround. And only a couple of races ago was pretty much right in the mid-pack. I want to say like the last maybe 7 races ago. Is mid-pack in the championship. So he's done a really good job. He leads the championship now by 2 points. Just 2 points. Over Nicholas Samadeo in the number 97. Samadeo has had a lot more fortune in terms of qualifying for this race. Cruz starts from 32nd on the grid, and Nicholas Samadeo starts from the 16th position on the grid. 2 points separating those guys, and then a 1 point behind Samadeo, 3 points behind Alejandro Cruz is Dominic Anthony. So Anthony, who finished second last time out at Chicagoland, he's now 3 points behind the championship lead. He starts 24th tonight, so he's smack bang in between those two guys. So none of those three really having a great starting spot, but they're 3 points behind each other. It's really, really tight. I'm really looking forward to seeing how these guys handle this race. Particularly 150 miles in length. It's going to be long, and it might be kind of chaotic. So Charlotte can be quite chaotic at times, and so we'll see what happens tonight. Thomas Truxell is 4th in the championship. He's been up there the entire season pretty much. He's 4th in the points, 18 points behind, so not that far behind. But he starts 20th tonight. So all the guys, kind of starting mid-pack towards, not exactly an ideal starting spot for any of them. Truxell is smack bang between Samadeo and Anthony, which is funny to consider. But yeah, Truxell 18 points behind. Braden Perez is 32 points behind. He won a couple of races ago at Minnesota. He starts from the 33rd position tonight, so he starts right behind Alejandro Cruz. Brandon Beal is 6th in the championship. He's had a bit of a drop-off in recent times. He's 48 points behind the winner of Watkins Glen. He comes into this, he starts in this race in 31st, so right alongside Alejandro Cruz and right ahead of Braden Perez. And then the 7th through 10th in the point standings all start in the top 6. The number 2 of Owen Miles, the Atlanta winner, had a good strong showing the last couple of weeks. He's 7th in the points, 64 points behind. He starts 6th tonight, the Fluoro number 2 for Buck Racing. Echo Evans Ross starts 5th tonight. She is 68 points behind in 8th in the standings. So good chance for good points for her tonight. Henry Gore in the number 71, winner at Texas. He starts on the outside of the front row of the grid, and that number 71, he is 77 points behind. He's dropped off quite a bit, so he needs a good run tonight. And same can be said for Joseph Wright, who starts on the pole in the number 99. 10th in the standings, 82 points behind. So he's still within a race of Alejandro Cruz in the standings. And he has been the fast man this week. We talked about a couple of races ago in Michigan. Max Davis was driving in that number 6. He was the fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying. He finished 2nd in the race. So Joseph Wright, fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying. We'll see what happens tonight. We'll get this one underway. As I said, 100 laps, 150 miles in length. It's a long one here tonight. We'll go through the top 10. So as I said, Joseph Wright's on the pole and Henry Gore alongside him. The Canadian Tire winner in Caleb Rose will start from the 3rd position. Good qualifying run for him. Garrett Lamar hoping for a better result than last week in that number 31. He starts from 4th, the Michigan winner. As I said before, Echo Evans-Ross starts from 5th. Owen Miles starts from 6th, so good run for those guys as well. James Jefferson, the Las Vegas winner, starts from the 7th position alongside Logan Williams in the number 7. And then running out the top 10, Noon Agbar in the number 53. And Zachary Fitzwater had a good run last week. I had a pretty good car, but finished 9th. Wasn't his... would have hoped for a bit more than what he ended up getting, but it was one of his better runs for the season. And he rounds out the top 10. And everybody's rolling off. There's the 92. There's the 46. The points leader coming into this week. He's got a lot of work to do. It can be hard to pass here at Charlotte at times. But move your way through the field. Brandon Beal is 31st. There's the 39 of Dominic Anthony. He's got Paul Antoine Sierra is actually 11th in points right alongside him. And then you've got Troxel there in the 27. And there is Nicholas Samadeo in the 97. So they're ones to watch throughout the night. Joseph Wright and Henry Gore lead the field of the green. The pace cars on pit road. Here we go. 100 laps of action, 150 miles here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're racing on a Thursday night. And down the back for the first time, Joseph Wright clears to the lead. Henry Gore clears to 2nd. Caleb Rose looked like he was going to get to the 2nd spot. They're 3 wide already back here. James Jefferson being shuffled to the middle by his teammate Noon Agbar. You got Logan Williams on the outside. And Joseph Wright has already jumped out to a sizable gap at the end of the first lap. So good start for the 99. Gore's 2nd. I was trying to say before, Caleb Rose looked like he may have gotten the 71 up to 2nd. But he checked up in turn 2. Lost a bit of ground. But now he's going to try and make that move for 2nd to the inside of the 71. Hasn't been a good run for the 32 since that win at Canadian Tire. It's actually been quite a miserable run for him. But right now, running up in the 2nd spot. Very early days, of course. Very, very, very early days. But it's a better sign for the 32. So he battles the 71 for the 2nd spot. Wright's got a bit of a gap already. Now Owen Miles here in the number 2. Started from 6th. Found his way to the bottom early on. We saw Echo Evans-Ross in the 62. There she is. She's actually fallen way down the order already. Not way down the order, but has fallen down the order quite a bit since the start, which is not exactly ideal. But Miles found his way to the bottom early on, and now he's up into 4th and maybe going to 3rd here because Gore has got around Caleb Rose for 2nd once again. He clears. We'll see if the 2 can hang on that left rear quarter panel. And Jerry Chen trying to drive in there in the 36. He's shown some speed in some recent races. Didn't have a great run. Hasn't had a great run at last couple of races, but hoping for better fortunes tonight in that 36. Off to a good start. You got Lamar, Chase Harris, and Noon Agbar, and Brad Stover, the Talladega winner. Moves his way forward. There's Samadeo. So he found his way to the bottom very quickly, and he is already moving up. He's up to 12th, I think. He's now right next to Echo Evans-Ross in the 62. Just falling outside the top 10. And Joseph Wright's already got a substantial lead. You don't want to get too far ahead. Like, you don't, if you're Henry Gore and these guys behind you, don't want to let this 99, the fastest car all weekend long, you don't want him to get too far ahead, because it is, you know, these guys, it is entirely possible that the leader can run away here at Charlotte. It is, it can happen, and it does happen. But Gore holding on to 2nd, Rose, then Miles, Chen's up into the top 5, so he got around Jefferson, and now he's going to the inside here of the number 2. Well, number 36 now to the inside for the 4th position, and Jefferson might follow through here in the 54. Down the back, and the 36 is cleared. Jefferson did not get a good run through turn 2. There goes Chase Harris in the 47. It's been a dismal year for Danger Zone Autosport, but good to see Chase Harris, who I thought, you know, was going to be a bit higher up in the standings after that. He had a good stretch of results, but hasn't quite had that kind of good fortune since. But right now running in the top 10 as they've caught Joseph Wright. So they did settle down. Obviously, you lose a lot of time here battling for position, and that's what we saw early on. The guys rotating around for 2nd on back. as Chen tries to go for third. He won't be able to get to the inside, but they were all battling for second on back. Allowed the 99 to get ahead quite a bit, and well, since then, oh, well, was that contact? I think there may have been a bit of contact there between Rose and Chen. The left rear of the 32 got hooked maybe a little bit. Not actually sure. But, right. And Gore now with quite a bit of a gap to the 32. He goes to 71 to the inside. Geez, Henry Gore would love a win here tonight. Big, big time. It'd be his second win of the year. Would give him, yeah, it would put him right back up there in championship contention. As I said, he kind of just slipped away a little bit in recent times. Obviously, not all of it while he was involved in some nonsense at Chicagoland. But, gee, he would love a good run tonight because put him well and truly back in championship contention. Dropped to 9th in recent times. There's Chen now to the inside. Chase Harris to the inside. Brad Stover moving his way forward. 3 wide behind them. Still side by side for the lead. Joseph Wright actually led across the line last time, and he'll lead across the line this time, and he'll clear the 71. And now here comes Rose back to the inside of the 71. And looks like he'll get him. Good run through turn 1 and 2, and Caleb Rose back up to second. So Gore side by side there for a while, but couldn't make anything happen, and he'll be a bit annoyed by that. Chase Harris up to 4th. Chen falling back on the outside. Here comes Stover in the 29. Winner at Talladega. Stover is kind of mid-pack this year, and hasn't quite been the season I think they would have hoped for, and he would have hoped for. But not doing a particularly bad job at the moment. Moving his way up into the top side for second. Battle again with Rose, and you can see the gap that Joseph Wright pulled out as a result of the battling. The 71 clears. Harris has moved his way forward in this one. A bit of speed in that 47. Got Ankbar back in there. Miles. There's Lamar. Evans Ross has clawed away back into the top 10 after dropping out early on. There's Samadeo. So right now, they're the guys that, top 5 in the championship. Anthony is, well, he's 21st now because he got around the 41 of Travis Crampton. There is Braden Perez. We'll see where he is across the line. Perez is 26th, going for 25th. Trying to get around Nicola Schlotter in the 20. There's Beal back in there. And there is the 46, who crossed the line last time, was 36th. He's just gained a spot on the 13. So Alejandro Cruz not having a good night. He needs a good night, particularly when the 71's up here. You got Samadeo running all right. You got Truxell not too far behind. So needs a good run. Needs to move his way forward. But it can be hard to do here at Charlotte. As I said earlier. Gore back to second. They're all going bananas back here. As Jerry Chen now to the inside for third. I think while we were talking about the championship contenders, I think the 99 actually lost a bit of ground and someone may have got to the inside. I don't think it mattered. I think he was able to hold the lead. Lead the lap, so it doesn't really matter too much in that regard. Chen has got around the 32. Now Rose falling back a little bit as Brad Stover now to the inside. Now maybe Harris. The left rear quarter panel. It's pretty close actually. They're actually making contact there. That's not ideal. But, you have to back off of it just a little bit. There's the two Gifford Chevrolets, second and third. Jerry Chen's on the move here. Yes, he was up towards the back end of the top 10, but he's since dropped to 19th in the points. He's actually tied for 17th. There's a four-way tie on 418 points. And for him, a win would certainly help his slim championship hopes. 132 points behind coming in. It's a fair way off compared to, say, 82, which is Joseph Wright. And even he has a relatively slim outside chance because of the runs that the guys like the 97, the 46, the 39, even Truxell, who hasn't had a particularly great run in recent times. But, they're well ahead in that regard. And, I was actually just saw Samadeo and Fitzwater nearly make a bit of contact. Here comes Ethan Lewis in the 00. Lamar fell back a bit, actually. He was in the top 10, but now he's since fallen out of it. So he's on the move. Truxell as well. Truxell needs a good run. Like a top 5 run. He hasn't really had like a top 5 run in, from memory anyway. Top 2 are gone. Jerry Chen got around Henry Guo here, and now he's looking at the back of that 99 and trying to size him up a little bit. Fair gap back to Guo, who's under a lot of pressure here. Brad Stover in the 29. Here goes the 36. To the inside here for the lead. And he might get him here in turn 1, although the bottom's not always the preferred line. They're 3 wide behind them. It's Noon Akbar on the outside. Rose getting shuffled back. The inside lane's not always the preferred line. Sometimes the guys get a bit tight and lose a bit of grip and have to kind of keep themselves under control, and it's not always the ideal line in the turns. But Chen takes the lead. He got past the 99 across the line, and he'll lead that lap once it updates. There it goes. So Jerry Chen gets a bonus point there. Opens the door for the 71 and the 29, and these guys are closing in. They're 3 wide again. Samadio's up into the top 10 now. So good start for the 97 here in this first, or 5th really, of the race. In fact, he's up to 8th. He's got around Evans Ross as well. So not exactly ideal for Evans Ross, but she's still in the top 10 doing a good job. Troxel's just, he's going 3 wide. He's trying to get up there. He doesn't want Samadio to finish ahead. That goes without saying. He's on the move. How about Brake Perez here in the 92? He's also on the move. He's, where is he? No, he's 21st. He started 33rd. He's just got around the 15. I think that's for a top 20. So he's on the move as well. Anthony. Ooh, that's a bit close. That's not exactly ideal with Sebastian Palmer. But, he's not that far off either. He's a fair way off the lead. Jerry Chen has lost the lead. Joseph Wright's got it back. The power of that 99 has been on display all weekend, and he got around him, by the looks of it, relatively easily. And Chen, when he did get past him, which to his credit, no one else has in this race so far, looked like he struggled with it quite a bit. Stover's up to 3rd. Guo's falling back because now he's under pressure from Miles. He's got Akbar and Chase Harris. They're going to go 3 wide. Guo on the outside, Miles middle, Akbar on the inside. I think they're going to be alright. 3 wide down the back. You can get away with 3 wide here at Charlotte. It's 4 wide. It's a death sentence. Miles is actually going to clear out of all that. Samadio, he's trying to get up there. That 97. He wants to be up there with his teammate, Joseph Wright. It's up into 8th. Look at these guys. I mean, there's quite a gap back to 4th already. And even quite a gap back to Stover in 3rd, who's trying to hang in there. As these guys all play for sheep stations. Miles cleared to 4th. Harris trying to get to 5th. Guo dropping back a little bit. It's not ideal. Troxel's in the top 10 there in the 27. He's done well since the start of this race. Moving from, he started 20th. 70 started 16th. They've done well to move their way forward, particularly after starting on that outside lane. Like Miles, probably got to the bottom relatively early. I don't know where Brad Stover actually started. I should probably check that out actually, because we'll see here. So Brad Stover started 15th. So he's been on the move quite a bit as well. But he started on the inside, which was probably helpful. But the top 2 are gone. Stover's trying to hang in there. But it's over a second back to 4th, and they continue to battle. Chase Harris here in the 47 wants to get around Miles. And it's now 2 seconds off the lead of the race on lap 27. So, remarkable speed shown here by the 99 and the 36. And Stover obviously trying to hang in there. Doing a good job. And everybody back here is going gangbusters. 3 wide again. This time it's Guo on the bottom, Akbar in the middle, and Miles on the outside as Harris is up to 4th. And Troxel and Samadio are pretty close to each other, and so is Evans Ross for that matter. So Troxel might be one to watch if there is a caution. Now in terms of pit stops as well, I forgot to mention this early on. It's about lap 55 to 60 is when we're having pit stops. So if there was a caution now, they would have to pit again. So that's something to keep in mind. And they would pit because the tyre wear, it's not a massive drop-off like a track to see at Darlington in a couple of weeks. The tyre, hell, even Rockingham next week. You'll see the tyres fall off big time. But Charlotte's not quite as bad. It is bad, but Not quite as bad. But something to keep in mind, right? Chen, Stover trying to hang in there. He's doing a good job. These two guys are clearly the fast guys at the moment. He's doing a really good job of just hanging around in that 29, and then it's all just kind of on from there. Noon Akbar has got around and up to 5th, so he's done a good job. Truxel is ahead of Samadeo, so there you go. Oh, that's tight. Miles and Gwar. Keep forgetting Miles is actually 7th in the championship. He's kind of like, I know he won at Atlanta, but he's kind of flown under the radar in a lot of races in the terms of like, he hasn't been like great, but he's been all right. And that's why he's, you know, still up there in the points. But, Troxel has been on the move. It's been a hard charger early on. Ethan Lewis in the 00. I'm not sure where he started. 14th. So he started 14th, but he's done a decent job as well in the Danger Zone Autosport car. As we got a change for the lead. Completely missed that. But Jerry Chen has got the lead back off the 99 of Joseph Wright. So doing a nice job there, Jerry Chen. And has brought Stover back into it. So Stover's, you know, he hung around the slipstream with the cars ahead. And he's now closed in. It's a three-way fight for the lead. But Jerry Chen has taken it. Once it updates, there you go. So Chen takes the lead. Wright second. With Stover in third. And then the battle's on behind. Akbar actually got around Chase Harris for 4th. So he's got a decent car as well. Where did the 53? 53 started in the top 10. This is not unsurprising. Of course he did. That's right. Yes. Harris 5th. Miles. Troxel up to 7th. Gores dropped back to 8th. He's in a lot of trouble. 00 of Lewis is 9th. And then Fitzwater with another good run in the top 10. And there's Samadeo. There's Evans Ross. And how about Perez? You got the 3 Pacific Racing cars right up close to one another. And Perez started in the 33rd position. So doing a really nice job of things. Moving his way forward. The top 3 are well and truly gone here on lap 34. As long as this thing stays green, which it has the entire time, as long as it stays green, it'll be hard to catch. It's nearly 3 seconds back to these guys, and they continue to battle. Troxel's up to 6, so he's got around Miles. As long as they continue to battle, it'll be even harder to catch. But Chen's car is pretty good, because it hasn't been, I mean, as I said, right, has been the fast guy all week. And, you know, he has started up at the front. Like, he's been up at the front, he started on pole, fastest in practice. It's been hard to pass, but Chen has done a really nice job. He's got the lead, and he's held onto it. And obviously Stover's held on to these guys behind. Harris and Akbar and these guys continue to go at it for 4th and beyond. The field is well and truly spread out quite a bit. Oh, that's not ideal. Fitzwater slid up the racetrack, got in the left rear of Gwar. I think that's what happened earlier. I think it was Rose. I forget it was. I think it was maybe Lamar. Or maybe it was Chen. But they made contact off of 4, I thought, and early on in the race, wasn't quite sure, but that was definitely contact. Kept it together. Kept it together. A couple of veteran drivers. In fact, 3 veteran drivers. So Samadeo in the 97. Evans Ross. Perez doing a nice job. He is right now. He's 13th. So that's a good run for the 92. They're 3 wide back here. So Truxel on the outside. That's not an ideal position for him to be in the 3 wide on that outside lane. But looks like they'll get away with it because they have run 3 wide all night. They haven't crashed. Although that's pretty close that's pretty tight between him and Miles. But, Lewis now up into 6th. And Harris up into 4th doing a nice job. Top 3 still remains the same in the same order. And Akbar tried to shut the door there. You can see he wanted to get down to the bottom and make sure that 00 didn't get to the inside, but the 00 was there. And good strong showing for Lewis. Coming into this race, Ethan Lewis, I think he's 40th in points. I need to actually get it up again. Hold on. Yeah, no, 40th in points. He's 265 points behind the championship lead. Chase Harris is 35th for the record. And for Danger Zone, they're 4 guys. Well, they're led by Jared Oren, who's 34th in points. Chase Harris, 35th. Cement Oskin 37th, although he did finish second at Minnesota a few weeks ago, and Lewis is 40th. They've had a dismal year. But 2 cars in the top 5 at the moment, doing a nice job, although that might change because Akbar's looking back to the inside. Can't quite get it done there. Now Miles, oh, he really he blocked Troxel. That was a move to get past Akbar, but also blocked the 27 from making anything happen there. It was very tight. I'm not sure if Troxel will be particularly appreciative of that, but all's fair in love and war. Fitzwater back in here in the 10th spot, looking to the inside. War here in 9th. He'll be disappointed not to have hung with the top 3 because he was up there for a while. But, since fallen back now under pressure here from Fitzwater. Oh, whoa, that's teammates. As you got all 3 team cars right there. Rose, Perez, and Evans Ross. And the last thing that that Caleb Rose, for Pacific Racing's sake, last thing he should be doing is making contact with the 2 championship teammates. The championship contending teammates. It's the last thing he should be doing. But he's battling. And Perez is ahead of them both, which is it's very impressive. As I said, Perez started 33rd. He's now up to, I think it's 12th. And these 2 guys started in 3rd and 5th respectively. So, he's done a good job throughout this race. It's got to be said. Now, Chen is pulling away here from the 99. So, lap 42, he's done a really nice job of things, Jerry Chen. Holding this race lead and has pulled away from Joseph Wright. His cars might be just struggling just a little bit. And Stover's still hanging around up in the 3rd spot. And all the action's back here. With the Danger Zone teammates, they're 4th and 5th. They're nearly 4 seconds off the lead. They are 4 seconds. 4.3 seconds off the lead. That's how far they have gone. Like, how far the top 3 have gone. There's Akbar trying to get past Miles. Couldn't get anything done. The tyres are well and truly, they're starting to wear out quite a bit. Struggling just a little bit more with keeping the car under control. Akbar's going to go for it again here to the inside of the 2. Let's see here. He's going for a 6th position. So in terms of the guys in the top 10 in points, clearly Joseph Wright has been the best performer. He's 2nd. But Miles is doing a good job. Troxel's doing a good job. Guar. So you got a lot of them up here. You got Samadeo. You got Perez just outside the top 10. Evans Ross as well. Paul Antoine Sierra's 11th in the points. And he's doing a good job. There's Dominic Anthony at 39. We haven't seen a lot of Anthony tonight. After that 2nd place run in Chicagoland. There's Beal. Where's that now? Anthony's outside the top 20. He's 21st. Beal is 24th. Gary Lamar fell off a long way from the start. And there's Alejandro Cruz. He is 30th at the moment. He's fallen back big time. Oh, well, he hasn't fallen back because he started back there. He hasn't moved his way forward at all. That's the thing. But, top 3 still holding station at the moment here at lap 46. We're getting closer to pit stops. As I said, lap 55 to 60 is approximately when we'll see it. Somewhere in that range. You'd be more likely to see it at the back end of that. Like more likely to be lap 60-ish. But we have seen, cars can come in early. Played the strategy game just a little bit. Oh, we got a caution on the racetrack! Right on cue. Oh, it's a big one! Big one! Turn 3! Many cars collected, including the 46! And he gets run into. And Crampton's on his roof. Garrett Lamar, Evans Ross in the 62 is involved. Everybody's involved. The 9 of Rogers. Palmer. Noon Akbar was up there. He was in the top 10. They're still crashing on the fronts off of turn 4. The 45. He was the one that ran into Alejandro Cruz. The 13. The points leader. Involved. Watson. Oren. Francis. Kyle McLeese. Caleb Rose has had the left front torn out of the 32. The 33 was it. Oh my god. The 52. The 23. The 12. 22. 74. That is a lot of cars. That's a lot of cars. That's half the field. So we were getting close to halfway and we have a mega crash. Like a mega crash. Well, this is a good time for pit stops. for the leaders anyway. We'll follow here with the 99. That was a huge one. It takes out the championship leader. We'll see here. I think... Let's see where they all come out. Chen is done. Chase Harris is done. And Chen's going to win the race off pit road. And Harris with a good stop. So Harris, who was 4.5 plus, well, about 4.5 seconds off the lead prior to that caution, he's now up to second. So he gets that's a massive boost for him, Joseph Wright. Same for Ethan Lewis in the 00. Will Parrish in the 02. He's 5th. What the hell did that happen? And then Gore, Miles, there's 27. Truxell, Fitzwater, the 92. 39 got through it. Sam Adio, I think, got through it. A lot of the field. Brad Stover fell back big time. I think the 37 got through it. And there weren't too many that got through it. Certainly the 13 didn't. So we'll take a look. I'm going to try and get to... I think Noon Akbar's already gone, but he was the highest running driver that I saw involved in that. So we'll go back and see. So let's try and we'll slow it down quite a bit here. Try and figure out what happened, because this happened a long way up. So yeah, so there's the 53. Oh, there's contact. Oh, there's contact between Gore and Akbar. Gore turns the 53, hooks the left rear off of 2. That's unusual. It smacks the left side on the wall. That took him out on impact. He goes back up the racetrack. Oh, and bang. Caleb Rose. So Rose was the one. Rose had nowhere to go. That is completely innocent bystander there. And then Evans Ross. And then the 53 sideways on the racetrack. And I think while Watson was definitely involved, Anton Sierra runs into Jefferson. Then the 62 comes back up the racetrack into Watson. 69 gets a piece of it, but I think he'll be relatively okay. I think Jefferson will be okay. Logan Williams. And then the track's blocked. The track will get blocked here. Logan Williams was a piece of it. Jared Oren. Clifton. Watson sideways. Will Parrish was involved. So he actually is probably not 5th. There's the 25. So he was involved. The 37. And then it's just on. Look at this. Garrett Lamar. He runs straight into it. The 46... There's where he gets his damage. And then they all just pile in. They all run into it. They just don't stop. They all just don't stop. They all just ran straight into it. Logan Thomas into the driver's door of Alejandro Cruz. And then Crampton gets flipped over. Crampton gets run into by Cologne. That flips the 41 over. And they all just ran into it. That's what happened. That's what happens. So lots of cars taken out, and then there was more in this. Okay, so there is yeah. So I was trying to, there is a bit more to this. So Rose is obviously trying to get to pit road because that car is completely destroyed on the left front. John Stewart's actually run into Oskin, and as the 32's trying to make it to pit road, they're all trying to stay on the racetrack, and it's Garcia, it's Stewart, and then Roberto Crane Jr. got through the first one, didn't get through this one. And the track's blocked again. Got Bright in the 12. He'll run into this. So that's all the Collins cars. So the 02 was involved as well. There he is. And then it's just kind of like... Yeah, that... I mean, 32 trying to get to pit road there. These guys trying to stay out. And that's what happens. And then it's still going on. Stephen Cologne runs straight into Logan Thomas. So the 45 spins up the racetrack. Cologne gets into Francis. James Stack, he runs straight into... He got through it relatively clean until that. They're still going on. Fisher G runs into the back of Roberto Crown Jr. They're trying to race it back to the line. Jared Oren runs into the 13. And, I mean, we haven't seen this kind of thing happen really at all this year. Not too many times we've seen like these massive crashes where everybody just runs into each other. But we did here. And that takes out a lot of good race cars. And it started with the 53. And he got turned hard into the wall. Like, really hard into the wall. We'll take it on board with him here, because this was a big hit on the left front. He was running in 7th at the time. That's the hit. And then there, bang. And he gets rear-ended by Evans Ross, and then it is on. And you can see it all happen. This is a pretty good view of, like, look at this. They all just piled straight into it. They all just drove straight into it. That's the 41 he flipped. And all of a sudden it's still going on up ahead. But that's more than half the field. Absolutely. There's the 28. 28 actually may have hit the 33 in the process. But that one, that's all the CRT cars. That's all of the Hololive cars. That's all the Collins racing cars. That's 2 of the Pacific racing cars. 74, a couple of the Danger Zone cars. We saw the 69 get involved as well. Anton Sierre. Jefferson went into the wall. Logan Williams got a piece of it. So there was a lot more cars than what... there were so many cars involved. Absolute mess on lap 48 of this race. And that's going to knock out a lot of the field. But Jerry Chen is the race leader. He wins the race off pit road. And I think the lights are out, so we're going to go back to racing here. Well, lap 50. And you see the cars, there are not too many left. There are not too many left at all. And look at that. There you go. 20, is it, maybe 56 is still in the race. 56 still in the race? No, 56 is still in the race. So I think we got, from Caleb Rose down, I think everybody's out of the race. So Rose, Clifton. I actually think Clifton blew up under caution. I'm pretty sure that happened. I could be wrong about that. But John Stewart, 52, Roberto Crown Jr., James Stack, Ricardo Garcia, Echo Evans-Ross, Sebastian Palmer, Noonan Aguilar, Garrett Lamar, Fisher G, Benny Watson, Jared Oren, most notably Alejandro Cruz, out of the race in 38th, the points leader. It's going to score 4 points tonight. That's definitely not enough to hold the championship lead. Travis Crampton, Jake Rogers, Logan Thomas, and can you believe it, Samuel Francis has finished last for the 5th time this year. And he's already last in points. He's already like, what is he? 57 points behind 41st in the standings. The poor guy can't catch a break in that 21 car. What a year for him. Anyways, we're back underway. Now, the 02 is a lap down. I didn't realize he's actually at the front of the field, and now he's going to hold everybody up. And this includes guys like Troxel and Perez, Fitzwater's on the outside, Samadillo. All these guys, it could get really nasty here as they try and get around the 02. Get really nasty. Got to get clear here. You got to get clear. Fitzwater shuffles miles to the very top of the racetrack. And keep it together for the time being. No idea with the lap cars. So the 36, the 99 of Joseph Wright. There's the 00 of Lewis, Chase Harris. Those two guys benefited greatly from the yellow. And so did the 71. Ironically, taking out the field. And he's now up to 5th. So I'm not going to say it was deliberate, but it's worked out well for him. It's worked out well for Anthony, who was kind of mid-pack at the time, but he's up to 6th. Troxel to 7th. There's Perez. There's Samadillo. Logan Williams. That's, I think, the top 10. We'll see across the line if it is. I wasn't counting. I wasn't counting. Yes, it is. It is the top 10. And you got Anton Sierre. Let's see if there's Miles in the 2. The 02. Well, 6 of... 6 is off the racetrack. I think the 02 has been pulled. I think Will Parrish has been pulled from this race. So that's another car out of the race. I don't know what happened to Davis, but he's on pit road as well. Joseph Wright's back to the lead in the 99. Not wasting too much time getting around Jerry Chen. You got Lewis. You got Harris. You got three of these guys. These teams haven't won this year. NS Racing with the 99, and you got the 2 Danger Zone cars. They're the only 2 teams not to win, and right now they're first. Well, Lewis is going for 2nd, and Harris is currently 4th. And Anthony's closing in here in the 39. As I said, he was running mid-pack, and he greatly benefited from that caution. Troxel trying to close in as well in the 27. But this man's going to be hard to beat. Joseph Wright, I mean, he has been, but he and Chen have been the fastest 2 guys all night. That's been very obvious. Brad Stover fell back big time on the pit road. He was the other car that was up there before the caution. Like right with them. But the 99 and 36 have been clearly the two fastest. And right, leading every session is going to be hard to beat. The 3 wide. Here comes Dominic Anthony now. He's got a really good opportunity. As I said, you know, he's 3 points behind coming into this race. And he's going for third here underneath of Chase Harris. Just got around his teammate Jerry Chen and Henry Ward, 2 teammates. Could be a big night for Gifford as a whole, as a team in the teams championship as well. They're relatively close to Team Velocista. Those 2 teams having a good battle for the championship at the moment. As now the 39 going for second. To the inside of Lewis. And he's been on the charge since the restart here. Oh, that's a little tight between the teammates. Not ideal. Perez trying to close in here in the 92, and you got Sam Adeo and company as well. You got a bunch of the championship contenders, all relatively decently positioned. A lot of them actually got through that somehow. I think the only one straight, Evans Ross and Cruz were clearly the 2 that were involved. A lot of the top 10 otherwise got through that. In fact, everyone got through that except for those 2 in the top 10. So there you go. But Anthony to second. But Lewis is going to fight back here in the 00. He's had quite a decent showing in that car. Troxell's closed in here in the 27. Now he's charging here late in the going. Well, you know, with quite a long way to go still. But you know, he's closed in. That's the point. He's closing in here in the 27. Still there on the inside of Harris, who wanted to close the door on him. But nothing doing there. Troxell into the top 5. And you got Perez in there in the 92. As I said, started 33rd, and he moved his way forward. He's up to 8th and is closed in onto the back of Chen, who's fallen back big time since the restart. And here goes the 39. He closed in on the back of the 99. He looked to the inside. He's showing the nose. Is he going to go to the inside here? Yes, he will. So Dominic Anthony to the inside here, trying to get past Joseph Wright for the lead. He's going to have a bit of help here, I think, because Lewis is going to be right behind that 39. Don't even know if he got the help. He got the drive off the turn 2, and Anthony takes the lead. Lewis trying to follow through. 40 laps to go. So across the line this time. Lewis trying to clear. Gore's going to go to the outside and push the 99. So the inside lane's not always the place to be. It is preferred, I would say, but it's not always the place to be. You can fight back on the outside. Not going to happen this time. Lewis gets to second. So Wright goes back to third, then Gore, Harris, Troxell in the mix in 6th. Chen under a lot of pressure here for Perez now to the inside for 7th. And then you got Sam Adeo and you got Fitzwater rounding out the top 10, and they're not too far behind. They might close in as well. But Anthony's already pulled out a little bit of a gap on the 00. Right now, Right all over the back of this 00. Here he goes to the inside once again. Been the fastest car all week. He's back to second. Can he clear this 00? That's the thing. He's got to try and clear. You don't want to, as I said before, you don't want to be battling these guys for too long, because if you do, you're going to lose time to the cars ahead. And clearly that 39 in clean air at the moment, doing a good job. And Gore looking to pass here as well on the 71. He's looking for a second win of the year. And get himself well truly right amongst the mix in the championship. He's going to the inside for third. And it looks like he will get it too. I think he will. Yes, he will. He'll clear. In terms of the guys behind, Will Parrish did get put out of the way. He's been taken off the racetrack. So Parrish is out of the race in the 02. You got the 12 of Bright. You got the 56 of McLeese. You got Stephen Cologne back here in the 13. The 74 of Ozkin. You got Beal. Right now running, well, where's Brandon Beal in the standings right now? He's 18th. So not a great run for him, particularly when a lot of these guys are up here in the championship. They're up here in the top 10. But those guys, I mean, these lap cars, you're going to have to keep them in mind as if this race can stay green, which is very likely now, if I had to guess, considering how many bloody cars are out of the bloody race. It's unbelievable. Perez is up ahead of Troxell. He's got around and up to the 6th position. So the 92, you can't take him out of this one, out of the equation, because that car looks really, really quick at the moment. And Trucks are now under a bit of pressure. Jerry Chen has fallen back big time in the restart. I don't know if they made adjustments on that 36, but he has fallen back quite a long way on the restart. And Sam and Ian up behind. Fitzwater still within 2 seconds and still well and truly within within the battle pack. Then there's a big gap back to Williams. And there's Stover. He'll be so disappointed because the 29 was up there. That goes without saying, but he was up there and then pit stops happened and he dropped way down the order. Right now he's 13th as the 00 of Lewis has got ahead of Gore and Harris tried to follow through, but he went very, very low, like very, very low. And now he's under pressure here from Bray Perez. Here he goes. Trying to get to the 5th position now, Perez. Leading the charge now for Pacific Racing after qualifying. I don't think many people would have suspected that, considering the 32 and the 62 top 5 and the 92 was 33rd. Harris holds station in the 5th position for the time being. We've got Troxel also right there. Chen, Samadia, Fitzwater. Right now, they've got to do something about Dominic Anthony because Joseph Wright is not closing in here on this 39. They are closing in on lap traffic though. This could come into play depending on when they reach them. But of course, these guys I think are keeping minimum speed, but they've... If I had to guess, they're only just holding minimum speed. Brighton, McLeese. Gore going for 3rd to the inside of Lewis. If he can hang in here and maybe get the lap cars to block the 00 when they reach him, or if he could clear him right here perhaps. And Lewis gets a good run on that outside lane, that kind of middle-ish groove. 71 trying to hold on that inside on that bottom. Don't think he's going to be able to. There's the 12. Anthony gets by the 12, but now he's got to try and find a way around McLeese. Don't think he's going to be held up big time, but should be okay down the back straight away. Joseph Wright's going to follow through here, you would think, unless the 56 maybe tries to get to the bottom, or McLeese tries to, he's going to stay ahead for the time being. These guys are so far off the pace. I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue for Wright here. Or maybe it will, I don't know. Didn't get to the inside straight away. Half a second between the 39 and the 99. And now Lewis here is closing a little bit, so has Gore. Lewis, a good run through turn 2 there. The lap cars are doing a good job. They're relatively staying out of the way, which is what you want to see. Obviously, we saw with Parrish before. He was really holding up the field. The 56 is still ahead of Troxel, but they get by him. But they're not holding him up in a big way, as now Lewis to the inside for 2nd. So the 00 trying to get past this 99. Can he clear down this back straightaway? I don't think so. They're going to catch Stephen Cologne here in the 13. Got no front end. I'm amazed he's still out there. Lewis is going to clear, I think. Yes, he will. Wright slides up the racetrack. Oh, that's tight. Gore got a little bit loose there off of 4. Tried to avoid the 99. Did a good job of avoiding it, but he's under a bit of pressure now because Harris has gotten to the inside and Perez is right there as well. Down the back side by side. Looks like Harris may get him here if he can drive it into 3 and hold it there. Yes, he will. A nice job, Chase Harris. Gore slipping back. Jerry Chen slipping back again. Samadia to the inside here. This is for the 8th spot. And every position in the top 10 is vital. It's massively important. Because, Dominic Anthony right now leading the race. 85 points. If he were to win this race, he got Fitzwater down in 10th. That's 42 points. 42 points for 10. So every position is vital here for these guys, like the 92, 97, 27, 71, 99. I mean, every position is vital. Of course, the 00 and the 47, they're not really a part of it. Not a part of the championship fight. Neither's Fitzwater, but... And hell, even Jerry Chen's not really a part of the championship fight. But for these guys that are in the top 10 in points, every position is so critical. Got 3/4 the way through the race. We've got 25%, 25 laps to go this time. As now, Chase Harris is going to get around Joseph Wright, who might be struggling a bit here in the 99. Gore to the inside as well. The 71's not going to be able to. The 71's struggling a little bit as well to just get around guys at the moment. Troxel has fallen behind his teammate Fitzwater. So he's back to 9th. Fitzwater is up to 8th in the 24. Good run for him again. This would tie a season best if he were to bring it home in that position. And now Chen trying to get to the inside here with the 27. So he's not going to be able to hold the position, and will get by Stephen Cologne. I don't think we'll see, that'll be the last we see of the lap cars. There's the 74, but I think we'll see the 50, or see the 12 again probably. We'll probably see the 56. May come into play later on, but Anthony's doing a really good job here in this 39. Gotten into clean air, and now he has held the lead since. He's held quite a decent gap back to Lewis there in that 00. It's a good run for Danger Zone. Currently 2nd and 3rd. Right back to 4th, and he's trying to find a way back around Harris. And try and get up there to that 39 and compete for the win. He's got to find a way around him. Right now it's half a second between the 39 and the 00. As long as this thing stays green, might be hard to catch this 39. It's not impossible, but it might be hard to catch him. Right here, running the bottom, he's got Gore relatively close to the rear. Gore's going to go here. He's going to look to the inside here and try and make a move into turn 1. There he goes. To the inside. Of course, these guys are kind of, you know, they're 9th and 10th in the championship, the 71 and the 99. They started on the front row together. It does mean something. Gore has got around right. So the 71 up to 4th. He's still well and truly not out of it, although Joseph Wright's gonna get back to the inside. Gore did not cover the bottom at all. He was willing to run that kind of middle top lane into 3 and 4. You can kind of see why. He was able to hold the position. Didn't do him any favors though. Harris trying to close in here, get to Lewis. Gap stabilized about half a second between 1st and 2nd, but Harris has got a pretty decent car, I think. It's just a matter if he can close in here to the back of this 00, if he can find a way around it. Not sure if there'll be team orders potentially in that one. I know Danger Zone, it's been a dismal year. They would love to go to victory lane. So we'll see how they play. We've got 20 to go. And with Alejandro Cruz out of the race, this is a big night for Anthony if he can bring this one home. Right now, half a second. He came into this race 3 points behind the 46. He'll clearly jump the 46. That's obvious. But with Lewis running a high lane and Harris now slipping back into the clutches of the 71, the 99, battling for 3rd now. This could be a huge night for Anthony. Harris holding on to that outside lane. Not sure what happened. He must have made a mistake because he fell back a long, long way off his teammate in Ethan Lewis. So I'm not sure what happened there to him, but that was very, it's very weird. These 4 guys really all relatively close to one another. Here we go. Joseph Wright's going to go attack Henry Gore once again. They've been doing this pretty much all night, it feels like. Not quite all night, but it has been happening quite often throughout this race. Wright couldn't get anything done there. Gore was able to shut the door on him. Opens the door maybe for Perez. Samadio's not too far behind in the 97 as well. And they're kind of dropping Fitzwater and Truxell and Chen back here. And Samadio's going to join that fight. Now Lewis has closed in here on this last lap. 17 to go this time. Still a long way to go. A lot can happen. He cut into that by 0.2 of a second. And he is really closing in. In fact, he might have a go at him here soon because he's really had a good run this last probably lap and a half. Perez has got around Joseph Wright. So Perez is now back into the top 5. Huge night for him considering his starting position. And then he slides up the racetrack. Joseph Wright sliding up the racetrack. Samadio closing in. Fitzwater's closed in pretty quickly as well. He's had a good couple of laps now. He's going to go to the inside potentially. They're all going to battle each other here now. Here comes Wright to the inside. Side by side through 1 and 2. Not a great run for Wright. He's still there on that inside lane. Fitzwater's going to get Samadio, so he's up to 7th. As I said, every position is vital here for these guys. Samadio, if Anthony were to win this race, he needs to be as high up as possible. There's only 1 point separating those guys coming in. So, 97 needs to get up there. 92 needs to get up there. 71 needs to challenge these guys. 15 to go. Less than 15 to go. Lewis is still there. He hasn't let this 39 go. He got close a couple of laps ago, but never really got close enough to try and make something happen here on this 39. Into turns 1 and 2. Harris still in third. Gore still fourth. They've dropped Perez a little bit. He's in fifth still. Then Wright. Then Fitzwater. Sam Adio, Troxel, and Jerry Chen. And then it's a long way back. Max Davis. Not sure what the issue is with him, but he did pit just after they went back to green. Kelly Lee with a good run in the 11th position. Same for Logan Williams in 12th. And Owen Miles, who was up there for a lot of the race, he got held up with that lap traffic, and he's fallen back as a result. He's 13th. Antoine Sierra is 14th. This guy just finishes top 20 every week. It is remarkable what he's done in that regard, but he just needs to finish top 10 more often. That's been the thing with him all year. Schlotter's 15th. Brad Stover, he'll be disappointed. He's 16th. Unless something changes unexpectedly. And then Jefferson, even though he got into the wall, he's still running decently well. Decent speed. There's Beal. He's 18th. And then there's Cologne. Cologne is 2 laps down. There's McLeese. Cement Oskin's the last car in the lead lap. And there's Eli Bright. And there's the race leader. And he's got a half a second gap, so he's pulled away a bit from Lewis. It's looking good. I don't know how the 00 is going to get to him. They've dropped 4th place. Genry Gore, he's falling back big time. It's over a second. That'll pretty much do the 74 in, I think. 71 in. I think it'll be hard for him to get back up there. It's Fitzwater now on the move. If he would have finished here, it'd be a season best for him. And 2 top 10s in a row. Doing a good job in this 24. He might go to the inside of Perez here, trying to make it 2 in 1 lap. Wright has fallen off as this run has gone on. It's what happened early on as well. It happened in the first stint. He lost a bit of ground to Jerry Chen in that first run, and that didn't really help his cause. Now, 24 to the inside for 5th. Oh, and that's Perez in the wall. He overshot turn 1, got up into the outside wall. Fitzwater goes past. Wright's going to go past. Troxel's probably going to go past. That is the last thing you want to do if you're Brady Perez. He's running 5th. And then he put it in the outside wall in turn 1. He'll lose 2 positions, but that's not good. It's not a good thing to be doing. Troxel, Chen now looking to the inside here at the 27. Anthony's catching up on lap traffic once again. Eli Bright. He's got to be careful here because he's got these 2 danger zone Hondas still right with him. It looks like it'll be one of these 3 guys who are going to win this race. Oh, and that's tight. That wasn't ideal for Dominic Anthony. He gets away with it. Lewis and Harris. They're going to get around the 12 as well. Next car in line is Kyle McLeese again. So these guys hanging on to the lap cars, holding on to the minimum speed. But Lewis is closed in. Harris is closed in. It's one thing to get to another, get to the back bumper of a guy. It's hard to pass him. Can be hard to pass him. We have got 7 laps to go. Dominic Anthony, second at Chicagoland. He was second at Texas when Henry Gore had the dominant car of the day and he won that race. And that was that. He's going to run up a McLeese. McLeese is going to stay relatively out of the way. And now Harris is going to go to the inside for second. Lewis is probably just going to have to let him go here because he's going to be stuck behind the 56, and he will. So Harris up to second here in the 47. He gets around his teammate. And Anthony pulls out a bit of a gap. 5 laps to go this time. Now it's up to Harris if he could do anything, but Lewis, I don't know. We'll see here if they could do anything about this 39. It's 3 seconds back to Gore in 4th. So they've well and truly dropped the field. And Harris is struggling a little bit here. I think this one is going to be Dominic Anthony's race to lose. Off of 4. 4 to go. Harris holding off Ethan Lewis for the time being. Gap is half a second. Oh, he runs the high. He runs a bit of a middle groove. We'll see here. Samed Oskin's closing in now. Of course, this is another of the Danger Zone Hondas. So if Oskin can hold up the 39, opens the door for the 47 and the 00. 3 to go this time. We'll see where the 39 could get the 74. Will the 79 block here into turn 1? He'll cover for the time being. He's going to cover the bottom. But Anthony has gone. He's dropped 2/10 on that lap. And he's going to go to the inside here at the 74. And with 2 laps to go, if there's a caution now, the race will end. Dominic Anthony, this is his race to lose. And I don't think he's going to lose it now with a lap car between him and the 47. 2 to go this time. In the longest race of the year. We look down the order a bit. Gwart is still 4th. Good night for him. Fitzwater is up to 5th. Joseph Wright 6th. Jerry Chen. Samadeo is 8th. Troxel and Perez rounds out the top 10. And now the 47's getting around the 74. I think he's going to run out of time. Rounding turns 3 and 4. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go this time. And it's crazy to think that Anthony, he was running right in the mid-pack. And he was really struggling in the mid-pack too. He was not moving forward like Perez was early on in that race. And then the caution had wiped out half the field. More than half the field. Anthony made his way to the front, and in this last run, he's been untouchable. And the number 39 is going to take the championship lead off of turn 4. First win of the year for Dominic Anthony. He's going to go to victory lane at Charlotte. In the longest race of the year, Anthony finally gets one in 2023. He wins here at Charlotte. And he will leave here tonight as the championship leader by quite a margin. Chase Harris is 2nd. Ethan Lewis 3rd. Great night for these two at Danger Zone Autosport. They remained within a second. Henry Gwar 4th. That's a really good run for the 74, but he's going to lose a lot of ground to the 39. And then Fitzwater 5th. That's a season best for him. Nicely done there. Joseph Wright, the pole sitter, finishes 6th. Jerry Chen 7th. I thought those two were going to be the ones. One of those two were going to go on to win the race. Didn't end up happening. They finished 6th and 7th. And then Samadeo finishes 8th, which, you know, if you looked at it, if the 39 didn't win, you'd say it's a good result, but it's not. Not really the grand scheme of things. Same could be said for Troxel and Perez. They finished 9th and 10th. It could have been a lot worse for them, though. They could have been Alejandro Cruz who finished out of the race, so that's something. But that's a big result. And Dominic Anthony, he's a long way ahead now with this championship. He'll be the favourite going into these last 4 races. He's going to be hard to stop. He's been in a good vein of form. And, well, good luck to the field, I guess, now with 4 races to go. But anything can happen. Next up is Rockingham. Bit of a very different racetrack, and so we'll see what happens there. Darlington, Nashville, and Homestead, the last 4. We'll see what happens in those ones. Owen Miles finished 11th, so that's I'll be frustrated. Could have had a lot more than that if it wasn't for the lap cars. Will Parrish holding him up. Brad Stover 15th. Thought he was going to be up there for the win, but that didn't happen. Beal finished 18th, so he was the last car in the lead lap. And then you look down the order. Everyone from Will Parrish on down out of the race. And all involved in that huge crash just before the midway point. A lot of cars out of the race. No one really of note there. But Evans Ross, 31st. Alejandro Cruz, 38th. And Alejandro Cruz had a 3-point lead coming into this race. He's going to be about a race behind now. So that's how much things can change in an instant. If things don't go your way. And poor old Samuel Francis dead last again. That's like the 5th time that's happened to him. And he's already like last in points. So it's remarkable how much misfortune that guy's had. But yeah, not a lot of misfortune for Dominic Anthony. He finally gets one. He's the second place a couple times already this year, and now he gets one. And he will be the championship leader after this race. And Gifford, I think, probably takes the championship lead in the team. Or probably, well, they've already have it, I think, off the top of my head, but they're going to extend it by quite a bit because all their cars finished up in the top 14. So they're going to be pretty well set. Be willing to say. But Foster didn't have a terrible run either with their cars. Fitzwater good run in 5th. Good for him. And good for those guys back there as well. Next race, as I said, is Rockingham. So it's going to be a bit of a different. It's going to be a very different race in terms of how it's going to be. How the race is going to be, and that will be next week. That's going to be fun. Looking forward to that one, and we'll see what ends up happening. Congratulations to Dominic Anthony and Gifford Technologies Incorporated on the win, and we will see everybody next week at Rockingham for what should be an